What is happening, Reds? We are back with the Shankly sessions again. The weekend has rolled around. Another match preview beckons. Hope you all had a great week. Hope you're all set in for the weekend, that you're all relaxing at home, tucking into a nice glass of wine or a nice beer or something like that, getting ready for the weekend. Of course, picking out your picks for the weekend, updating your fantasy team, and all that good stuff as we look forward to another festival of football, especially on Sunday. Some cracking matches from 12 o'clock in the day. We're going to be on it from 12 o'clock in the day all the way through to probably, what, half six, seven, I should say. It's going to be a cracking Sunday if there was ever one. This is your Spurs versus Liverpool preview. As always, hit that subscribe button on the upper tier if you could. Also, hit the bell notification to be notified every time we go live. And if you could, drop a like on the video as well, which would mean everything to us if you can. Real interesting game, this one. Similarities kind of between both teams at the moment. We know that there's talent there between both teams, but both playing pretty blunt at the moment. But let's get into this preview and dissect it down and see what we think. As always, if you're in the chat or you're in the comments, drop a prediction in there, but also let us know what you think your starting 11 might be, as always. But let's begin. Spurs come into the game on the back of two very good fight backs, securing top spot in the Champions League during the week with a fantastic comeback after being so poor, especially first half. They looked in real trouble. But also coming back against Bournemouth last weekend as well, looked really, really good. You don't always want to be shipping goals the way they did. They were 2-0 down against Bournemouth, but pulled it back to 3-2 and got the big win as well against Bournemouth. So um, sometimes it's a sign of a real good team. Sometimes when you have to dig in like that, when adversity is ahead of you and you have to dig in and grind out the win and find a way to get it done, especially with the players they're missing. They're missing some big players at the moment. So hats off to them, got the job done, and they'll be in the draw. We will be covering the draw, remember, Monday, 10:45. We'll be covering the draw live, bringing you all the toys as they unfold. It's going to be a great draw as well. Looking forward to seeing who Liverpool gets. We will be back, of course, Sunday evening with a match reaction and player ratings as well. And of course, make sure you're checking out our shorts on the channel as well. We've got a couple of shorts dropping there all the time. Later on, I'll drop a short with my Premier League predictions, as I always do on a Friday. Warren in the comments. Don't forget to check out Warren's channel. Warren's Team Talk. Check out Warren's channel. 2 o'clock tomorrow, he'll be on it, bringing you that fantastic show he brings every Saturday afternoon. Fantastic. Banter Central. Great fun. Great bunch of guys there. Great community Warren's developing there. I'll no doubt drop in, Warren. I'll be there in the comments and I'll lighten it up for you, no doubt, brother. But yeah, all is good at the moment. Hopefully it'll still be on Sunday evening, but let's see. But yeah, get over there, check out Warren's channel. Some great stuff on there at the moment, putting together some great shows. So back to the preview. Liverpool come into the game after a big win against Napoli. Interesting to see coming off that result against Leeds as well was pretty poor, but we definitely looked on it against Napoli. Of course, under the lights in the Champions League at Anfield, always a very special occasion. And we performed really, really well. The question is now, like in previous occasions, can we continue with that form and keep that form going into the Premier League? Or will we falter again? This is a huge game for both teams. A lot on the line in terms of this game. Warren says he'll be tuning in on Monday. Appreciate that, Warren. Yeah, we'll be live from 10:45. Different location though. I'll be coming live from the shop, from my job. So yeah, but we'll have a bit of crack down. It'll be good fun. Warren in the comments. Thanks a lot, mate. You better beat that chicken in a basket lot. Yeah, absolutely. I hope so too, mate. I hope so too. But yeah, indifferent for us at the moment, kind of, because it's been a roller coaster ride this season, hasn't it been for us against such good results against Ajax and Rangers and Man City and Newcastle and Bournemouth, and then we come back in and we just falter again and we fall back into that lackluster, lethargic way of showing up with a kind of a chip on our shoulder, or arrogance, if you will. But we can't afford to do that because we're going to the Champagne Lane, the new White Hart Lane. Absolutely fantastic stadium. Looks amazing every time I see it. It's like a mothership, isn't it? Like something out of a science fiction movie or something like that. Looks amazing. Dare I say, warrants much better football, but I'm sure Spurs fans would agree with me on that. A stadium like that with a collection of players like that definitely should be playing some champagne football, not just at the Champagne Lane. Probably with the form of both these teams at the moment, this can either go one way. This is either going to be a goal fest and a fantastic game and real Premier League classic, or else this could be an absolute drab draw. Let's see what happens. Looking at current form at the moment, Spurs with 3 wins and 3 losses. Liverpool 3 losses, 2 wins and a draw. This is league form, of course, guys. The head-to-heads, we're looking at 51 matches. Spurs have won 12, Liverpool have won 25, and 14 have ended in a draw. So down the years, we've had some fantastic games against these. No less the Champions League final, of course, which I would say wasn't a great game. But there was a kind of a nervousness between both teams, I think, of the occasion and us getting over the line. Team news. These are big players missing for Spurs. Spurs are missing Romero at the back, who has been an absolute stalwart for them this season. Kulichevsky, who we know is such a big playmaker for them and stuff like that, started out the season absolutely brilliant. Warren back again. He's on fire tonight. It's a mothership of shite, mate. Liverpool 3-1. Yeah, I don't know. I'm as much I understand where you're coming from, Warren, but I look at that stadium and I just think it's amazing. It's just a beautiful stadium. We whether you like or you hate Spurs, you have to park that when you look at that stadium. It's absolutely. Warren says he loved that Champions League. Yeah, I think most of you gooners there, Warren, you were all Liverpool fans that night. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely. Yeah, but Spurs are missing Kulichevsky as well, who's been absolutely outstanding from a brilliant start to the season. They're also missing Richarlison. I'm not going to talk about too much. I think people who follow the podcast know how I feel about that man. Darren would be a big fan, me not so, but a big loss as well. He had been playing well for them as well, and of course they're missing Son, who's had a poor start to the season on the back of a golden boot last year, but was starting to find his rhythm a little bit, and now we know he's out. He has to have eye surgery, or has had eye surgery. I'm not too sure. So we wish him well in his recovery, of course. Son, fantastic player and stuff like that. But these are big players that they're missing. For us, Milner is a doubt. Of course, went off the other day with a head knock. So he'll be assessed, no doubt. But is a doubt. Diaz is out as we know, but we've seen some fantastic pictures of him back in kind of recovery training and stuff like that. So it's great to see him back at it. Jota, we know, is out missing the World Cup as well. Keita is the anomaly. I don't know what the story is with Keita. It's hardly injury again. I just think, I wonder, has the ship just sailed on him, and has Klopp gone down the Sacco route with him now that it's just time to go, mate? Matip, we know, is also out as well, and of course Artur is out, I think, until the new year. So yeah, a sprinkling there, missing some quality there as well. So kind of balances it out a little bit. If you look at Spurs, I think Spurs will probably line up in their usual 3-5-2. Lloris in nets, who at times this season has been sublime for them, but at times has coughed up opportunities as well. Normally fairly solid, but at times not too sure which Lloris you're going to get. But if recent games are out in the goal boy, we keep on coming up against goalkeepers that are absolutely exceptional. So I wouldn't be surprised if he had a really good game. At the back, you're looking at Dyer, Langley, and Davis doing a back three there. Sessegnon, Basuma, I think, well, Darren mentioned it the other night, I think he'll be in that kind of holding position in front of the back three. Hallberg in the midfield with Bentancur, Perisic, and Kane. So a much change. And Moira, of course, coming in. So it's an opportunity here for Liverpool. This is by no means an easy game because, as we know, there's no easy games in the Prem. But I think looking at that Spurs side, especially at the back, I think Liverpool could get at that. And again, I think going down the wings, I think they have a real opportunity to attack down the wings. And I know Nunes could cause havoc in that back line. So that should be interesting. Liverpool's lineup probably reverts. Let's go with a 4-4 or 4-3-3, but he may not set it as a 4-3-3. I think at this stage, Alisson and Nets is an absolute shoe-in. He's been outstanding this season. Trent at right back. I did like the little cameo from Calvin Ramsey the other night. He looked really good. Konate, of course, goes in there. Should be the first name on the sheet. Was outstanding the other night against Napoli. And just brings a calmness to the defence. Not dissimilar to Virgil, but I think he offers a little bit more going forward, because I think when he brings the ball out of play, he's looking for that positive pass all the time. Doesn't necessarily want to check back in all the time or put the pass across the back line. He's always looking to play a pass into that midfield or bypass the midfield at times, and his passing is pretty clinical as well. So yeah, Konate in there. Van Dijk, of course, will be in there. And I think he'll probably go with Robertson. And no disrespect to Costas the other night. Costas had a good game the other night and he's doing really well. But the pattern seems to be that he's going to rotate both these boys at times, especially with Robbo coming back off an injury and stuff like that. But look, definitely back to his best. But yeah, so Robbo goes in there. Fabinho, of course, in the middle there, along with Thiago and Henderson. I think he'll go with the regular three. Might change it up during the game the way it's we might see Harvey or something like that introduced, and then at the front you're going to get Nunez on the left, you're going to get Firmino up the middle and Salah on the right, and I think that's how he'll line up with the kind of, dare I say, tried and tested, but I think that line up there should have goals in it against that Spurs back line and should be able to create opportunities, looking at Dyer, Langley and Davis. But yeah, that's how I think we line up. Of course, let us know in the comments or in the chat what you think your lineup might be. Is there any changes there? Sometimes I look at Costas coming out of the team after playing well, and I think it's unfair at times, But that's the lineup that I'm looking at there at the moment. Big game for us. If you look at a prediction, well, before I get into the prediction and betting, I wanted to highlight a few things. Absolutely, Warren. Everyone watching, anyone tuning in, or even on the replay, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button. Always very important on any of these channels that you're on. You don't believe how important it is to do these things. It makes a huge difference to us in terms of trying to get to where we want to get to. So if you could, that would be absolutely brilliant. I just wanted to break down a few things in terms of sort of key analysis, if you like, and stuff like that. So what I looked at, if you look at the goalkeepers, I think both goalkeepers have performed well, at times more out of necessity but also ability. So I think the keepers are, on their day, they're pretty solid. Defensively, Liverpool look more solid with Konate in the side. Also provides a more positive use of the ball, as I said earlier. Spurs defence has been ever changing, and although only 2 goals worse off than Liverpool, you never get the feeling the play as a cohesive unit, especially with Romero not in there. If Romero's in there, then he makes a huge difference to them. In the midfield, I would suggest is the key battle where the match is going to be won or lost, and in that area where Spurs are stronger between injuries and form. Liverpool's midfield is ever changing and evolving, but a reinstatement of Hendo, Fab, and Thiago should provide what's needed to have control of the game. I'm looking forward to that battle in midfield there between Hallberg and Bentancur. And Fabinho and Hendo looks pretty good. Thiago will be providing the creativity and stuff like that. But I liked, as I mentioned the other day as well, that tangent between Thiago and Fabinho operating pretty close to each other and stuff like that. I like that little partnership there that they're forming. And of course, looking at Fabinho at the moment, sort of returning to some similar form, I would say. Hasn't had a great start to the season, but there's a lot of stuff going on there, a lot of personal stuff that we're not going to get into it. It's none of our business. So we're going to cut Fab a bit of slack here because we know he's absolute quality on the day. He can be. And we hope that that's what we're going to see. On the forward line, notwithstanding the brilliance of Kane, we know how good Kane is. But I think Liverpool edged this, I think, with Salah, Nunez and Firmino there. That's a potent strike partnership there. And, with Spurs missing Son, Richarlison and Kulusevski and Moira coming in, is a significant drop-off from those boys, I think. And I think that's where they might struggle. Obviously, they're going to use Perisic as well as the creative force there and stuff like that. But if we do our job and we try and suffocate it and play it high up and stuff the way we normally do. Perisic might not have much of a game, to be honest, and that's what we need to be doing. We need to be squeezing the play the same way as we did against Napoli. Push them right back and don't give them an option to get out. Try and suffocate them the way we did with teams before. Hopefully that's what will happen. So that's just some of the key breakdown that I put together and stuff like that. So just wanted to give you a little flavour of that. In terms of the betting, Spurs are 9-4, the draw is 5-2, and Liverpool are 11-10. Again, the betting at times just confuses me as well, because you've got Spurs coming off two really good fight backs. They're at home, they're higher up in the league, they've amassed more points. Liverpool are coming into town 11-10 as the shorter favourites, well shorter favourites. So I think are the bookies looking at what I've spoke about there in terms of our front line compared to theirs with the injuries they have, and also the injuries that they have in the back, that we should be able to get at them. The midfield is going to be an interesting battle. It's hard to work out what way that's going to go. But yeah, sometimes I just don't understand the odds and stuff like that. It's a little bit kind of weird. In terms of a prediction, I think Conte is going to play this quite cagey as he always does. I think he's going to weather the storm a bit for the first 20 minutes, see how the game evolves, and then Spurs are going to try and play a little bit of counter football, I would imagine. So area of their high line, and they're going to have to manage their press properly rather than it being disjointed in previous games. So I think it's an opportunity for Liverpool to put a win on the board and a big win against Spurs. So I'm going to go with a Liverpool win 2-1. But this could end up in a very open 4-3 game. Or Conte could really stifle this and look at this and go, looking at the players that we have out and stuff like that, even though the onus is on us at home. The onus has been on them at home all season, and at times they flattered to deceive. They played really negative football at times. And Conte could set up that way and go, look, we take a draw here, we'd be happy or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see how he shapes them up and what way he puts them out there. But my guess is they'll probably weather a bit of a storm from us for the first 20 minutes or so. And then they'll start to play around and come out of their shell a little bit. But yeah, it should be an interesting tactical game, as they would say. But I'm going to go with Liverpool 2-1. So of course, let us know in the comments what your score prediction is going to be, and also let us know what your possible lineup is going to be. Would you make any changes? Also, let us know what your thoughts are from the Napoli game. Are we going to be capable of bringing that form into the Premier League, where we have struggled so far this season? But it's imperative on us that the next two games. What's the crack, Dell? Dell in the comments there. Go check out Dell's channel as well. Fantastic stuff going up there at the moment. What's the crack? What's the story? Dell's going for a 2-2. Interesting. Yeah, Dell, funny enough, I was on the show last night. I was on the Thursday Tier Talk, and I kind of was thinking around a draw. But then I looked at the players that they're missing and the way they set up with the tree, and I think we might just have enough to edge. Warren's going for it. Warren's going for a 3-1, comfortable 3-1. Yeah, I don't know. I think Liverpool this season, Warren, nothing's been comfortable bar Bournemouth. Everything else has been an absolute chore. But yeah, give me a 3-1 all day right now. But I think it's imperative for Liverpool that we win the next 3 games. Certainly the 2 league games anyway. Carabao Cup, I'm not too worried about at all. I think we should have enough to deal with Derby, no disrespect to them. Depending on who he puts out as well, that'll be a very changed side as well. But I think it's imperative. 3 points against Spurs and 3 points against Southampton going into the World Cup break. I think it's absolutely the minimum we can expect. Just want to finish up by saying congratulations to the gaffer getting the freedom of Liverpool City there the other day. Huge achievement for him, and he joins a fantastic list of people there, including Nelson Mandela, Bob Paisley, the Beatles, no doubt, and of course the 97 victims of the Hillsborough disaster. So he's in very, very good company there, and great to see him. Great to see him being rewarded for what he has done for Liverpool, both for the club and for the city. So yeah, fantastic. Congrats to Jurgen Klopp. Until next time, folks, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, the upper tier. Of course, the Shankly Sessions is the Liverpool podcast within the podcast. And as always, if you want to contact the show, it's the upper tier podcast at gmail.com. As I said, I will be back Sunday with a match reaction and player ratings. Win, lose, or draw, we're always here after the game. And also Monday morning, 10:45. Set that notification button. Like and subscribe and the notification button, and make sure you're tuning in for that draw. It's going to be electric. You will get my full-on reaction. No bother, Dale. Thanks for joining us, of course. Give me a shout over the weekend, of course. Bit of crack. And Warren there, congratulations to Jurgen. Yeah, absolutely, Warren. Fantastic. And Dale saying hi to Warren, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Should be a bit of crack. We will be in the comments tomorrow, Warren. Don't worry. We'll light it up. We'll have a bit of crack tomorrow. The banter will be banter central. As always, folks, a pleasure bringing you these shows. If you could, like on the way out the video. And, of course, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification button. Till next time, folks. Come on, Reds. Let's do this.